The Ark of the Covenant. It is the single most iconic archaeological relic in history. It is a legend both dazzling and deadly.
Passover, which is a very rare thing in 1927.
People have to remember that. In 1927, a plane goes overhead. It's a big deal.
It was a big deal.
Right.
Minutes ago, renowned adventurer and television host Josh Gates has just made an incredible discovery during an episode of Expedition Unknown. 5 skeletons right here. What could they tell us? We've stumbled into a hidden chamber deep within the Lama Cave, dating back to the days of King Pelayo of Spain. This place feels frozen in time, and these bones could be the key to proving the legends of Pelayo's reign. What urgent secrets are these ancient skeletons hiding? Let us uncover the shocking truths buried with this mystery. Exposing King Pelayo's secret burial ground. Deep within the Lama Cave, we find ourselves in a perfectly preserved chamber from the era of the heroic King Pelayo of Spain. Our mission here is to unearth solid evidence that could support the legendary stories of his reign, and this discovery could certainly be significant. As the dim light of our torches flickered against the ancient walls, casting eerie shadows that danced across the skeleton, a sudden chill descended upon us. In a cavern, 5 skeletons are scattered, remnants from the era of Pelayo suggesting an ancient, mysterious burial site. Positioned meticulously, each skeleton is encircled by broken stalactite fragments, hinting at ritualistic practices. Centuries ago, people carried these bodies down rugged paths using only ropes and torches.
How common is it to find an inscription like this that is a dedication to St. Peter?
The flickering torchlight would cast eerie shadows, enhancing the foreboding atmosphere as if stepping into the realm of the dead. This site reveals a fascinating glimpse into ancient burial rites. It seems this place was chosen for a ceremonial purpose, a sacred site for funerary rites. Unfortunately, no textiles or clothing have withstood the passage of time here, but in a nearby chamber we stumbled upon an intriguing artifact, a metal belt buckle. This buckle is made from iron, embellished with inlays of silver and brass, and notably it features a cross. Could this indicate that these were Christian burials? It appears so. However, there's a palpable sense of ancient pagan traditions here as well. The limited number of burials from the time of Pelayo that we have discovered here are incredibly revealing. It's clear that during this period, Christianity was emerging yet coexisted with persistent pagan rituals. This site provides a unique glimpse into an era where 2 very different cultural and religious paradigms existed side by side in the annals of history. After standing for over 1,000 years, it's incredible how well this place is held up. But there's one part that's not so well preserved: the skull. Where is the skull, you ask? It's right here, but it's been violently broken, almost turned to dust. And it's not just this one. Every skull we've found here has been destroyed in the same way. This kind of destruction points to a deep fear among the people who lived here. A fear so strong that they took drastic measures to make sure these individuals could never come back. Back in the Middle Ages, people were widely scared of the undead returning to cause chaos. To stop that from happening, they often did extreme things during burials. In different cultures, people were sometimes buried face down, had rocks put in their mouths, or even had stakes driven through their hearts. Their identities are lost to time, and the strange way they were buried just adds to the mystery. This discovery is important not just because of the unusual burial practices, but also because it challenges the perfect images of historical figures like Pelayo and his followers, who are usually seen as heroes. Let's explore what ancient relics tell us about the past. Mercenaries in the eyes of Egypt and beyond. But there's more to this story. Even the smallest artifacts can teach us about the beliefs and customs of that time. Take the quartz arrowhead found here at the sacred mountain of the Kingdom of Kush, a place that was sacred in ancient Egypt's creation myth. This arrowhead was found stuck in a skull, and it wasn't meant for hunting. It had a ceremonial purpose. This tells us something about the ceremonial and possibly violent interactions between the Kushites and their neighbors. This discovery doesn't just deepen our understanding of how Kush might have used its sacred status to influence or even control Egypt, but it also shows us the complicated beliefs and practices that shaped the spiritual and physical struggles of ancient civilizations. Arrowheads were a significant symbol of the early Kushite rulers. As the Kushite dynasty began to rise, these arrowheads were often found in the tombs of their royalty. Each one was made from a reddish-orange stone that stood out. The ancient Egyptians referred to their region as Tas-Siti, which means land of the bow, highlighting the Kushites' remarkable skill in archery. The Kushites were so skilled with the bow and arrow that they were often hired as mercenaries by the Egyptians. Their expertise was not only recognized locally, but also by people in other regions. The Arabs, for example, called them eye smashers because they were so accurate in hitting the eyes of their targets. This skill with the bow and arrow played a crucial role in the Kushites' military success. Historical records and artworks often show Kushite kings wearing thumb rings, which they used to pull back the strong bows. Their widespread reputation for archery helped them not only win battles, but also take control of Egypt during the 25th dynasty and maintain power in their homeland afterward. But their military skills weren't their only strength. At Jebel Barkal, a combination of spiritual leadership and military power can be seen, showing how the Kushites held on to power for so long. Their mastery in these areas allowed them to rule as pharaohs and dominate the region for centuries. However, despite their rich history, the tomb of a Kushite king had never been found until now. Recent discoveries might reveal important artifacts that could change what we know about the Kushite civilization. Imagine the scene unfolding in the scorching heat of the desert, where a group of dedicated archaeologists carefully brushes away layers of sand, inch by inch, searching for traces of a long-lost civilization. Suddenly, one of them uncovers something small but unmistakably significant: a golden cap, no larger than a thimble, which once covered either a finger or a toe of a royal figure, likely a king, during his burial. The discovery is electrifying. "Look at this," one of the archaeologists shouts, his voice cutting through the still air as he holds the gleaming object high for all to see. "This must have been on the king when they buried him." The entire team quickly gathers around, eyes wide with excitement and curiosity. "This is incredible," whispers one of them, almost breathless with awe. The object might be small, almost easy to overlook amidst the vast sands, but its implications are immense. This golden cap could be the first solid evidence that the remains of a king, someone of immense historical significance, might still be lying undisturbed in his final resting place. The realization dawns slowly, spreading through the group. "There's no way this would be here unless it was actually on him," another team member says, with growing confidence. It's a breakthrough, a moment that could redefine their entire understanding of the site they've been studying for so long. Each discovery reveals a new piece of the story. The golden secrets of ancient monarchs. These golden caps, known in ancient times as stalls, were much more than mere adornments. They were symbols of royal status, carefully placed on the deceased monarchs to protect their limbs in the afterlife, ensuring their safe passage to the next world. Renowned kings like Tutankhamun and Nastasin were entombed with these sacred items, each one a testament to their enduring power and significance. The discovery of such an artifact is a rare and precious event, offering a tangible connection to the past that few ever get to experience. "Look closely," another archaeologist urges, his voice filled with excitement as he peers intently at the golden cap. "Do you see that? There's something inside." The possibility that the cap might contain ancient remains, perhaps even fragments of bone, sends a ripple of anticipation through the group. The idea is almost too extraordinary to believe. "We need to handle this with the utmost care. Let's take it back to the lab and open it there." There might still be bone inside, they agree, their sense of urgency growing. This could be the key to confirming the presence of the king himself, lying undisturbed in his tomb for thousands of years.
We have data, yes?
Yes, we have.
Okay, let's see. What did we get? Ha-ha! This is incredible!
What's it? So many bones.
There are bones everywhere. And in the back?
Oh, look there. And
More
so,
in the back.
that concentration there of long bones.
So many more than you can see from the
Yeah, yeah.
entrance. It goes all the way back. How many people?
The atmosphere is charged with energy now, the weight of their discovery pressing down on them. It feels almost certain. The king's presence is still here in his tomb, one of the team members says, their voice barely concealing the excitement bubbling within. As they begin to plan their next steps, it's clear that they are standing on the brink of a discovery that could rewrite history. Every move they make from here on out must be deliberate, careful, and precise. They know that what they found could be one of the most significant archaeological discoveries of their careers, perhaps even of the century. But as they prepare to leave the tent where they've been working, something gives one of the archaeologists pause. Standing at the entrance to the tomb, he peers into the darkness, eyes straining to make out what lies within. Suddenly, he catches a glimpse of something, a stone slab just visible before the shadows swallow it up again. "Come this way," he calls to a colleague, guiding them carefully around the entrance to the tomb. Their hands brush against the cool, smooth surface of the stone as they move cautiously forward. "Feel that? It's perfectly smooth," he murmurs, his voice tinged with awe. The realization that they are physically connecting with a piece of history, touching something that has remained untouched for thousands of years, deepens the impact of their discovery. It's a moment that will stay with them forever, a tangible connection to the ancient world that few are privileged to experience. As they continue their careful exploration, they begin to realize that the tomb is far more complex than they initially thought. The discovery of the golden cap was just the beginning. Hidden deeper within the tomb are more secrets, waiting to be uncovered, each one potentially more significant than the last. As Pierce Paul ran his fingers across the surface of the ancient stone slab, he suddenly stopped, his hand frozen in place. "Wait a moment," he said, his voice calm but with a hint of urgency that immediately caught my attention. He motioned for me to come closer. "Place your hand here, right where mine is," he instructed, his tone inviting curiosity. I followed his direction, carefully laying my hand on the cool, weathered stone. To my surprise, I felt an unexpected texture beneath my fingertips, something different from the smooth surface that surrounded it. We dive deeper into history with every layer we uncover. The secret beneath the stone. "It feels like there's a crack here," he added, though it was clear this was no ordinary crack. As we both examined the area more closely, we noticed that the edge of the slab seemed to have vanished, almost as if a portion of it had crumbled away or been somehow erased over time. The more we looked, the more questions arose. Could it be that part of the cave ceiling collapsed and damaged the slab? Pierce Paul speculated, his concern growing evident. The possibility that a recent collapse might have shattered a significant portion of the stone became more apparent with each passing moment. The missing piece wasn't just a minor detail, it suggested that something significant had occurred here, something that might have altered the structure of the tomb itself. But as we considered this, another possibility began to take shape in our minds. "Try sliding your hand under the slab right where the crack is," Pierce Paul suggested, his tone shifting from concern to cautious excitement. Intrigued by his suggestion, I carefully maneuvered my hand underneath the slab. The stone was cold to the touch, but as my fingers explored further, I felt something unexpected. "There's a gap here," I said, my voice tinged with surprise. The more I explored, the more it became clear that this wasn't just a simple crack. "It's hollow underneath," I confirmed, the discovery filling me with a growing sense of wonder. Pierce Paul's eyes lit up with a realization. "This isn't just any ordinary floor stone," he exclaimed, his excitement now fully evident. "It's the cover of a sarcophagus." The weight of this realization hit us both like a tidal wave. This stone cover had likely been undisturbed for thousands of years, possibly since the day it was placed here. The thought of what might lie beneath was exhilarating, but it also came with a sobering awareness of the risks involved. The tomb was clearly unstable, and the very act of uncovering it might trigger a collapse that could seal its secrets forever. Realizing the potential danger, we quickly retreated to a safer part of the tomb to discuss our next steps. The excitement of the discovery still buzzed in the air as we tried to make sense of what we had just uncovered. "This slab is actually the top of a burial container," I explained to the others, my voice barely able to contain the thrill I felt. There was no doubt in my mind that something significant lay beneath it, something that had remained hidden for countless generations. The question now was, what should we do next? The possibilities seemed endless, each more tantalizing than the last. But this wasn't the end of our journey, it was only the beginning. Pierce Paul, ever the man of action, was already thinking several steps ahead. "We need to start removing some of these materials immediately," he declared, his mind racing with the potential discoveries that awaited us. The idea of excavating what lay beneath the stone was both thrilling and daunting. We were standing on the threshold of history, about to unlock the secrets of an ancient civilization that had been lost to time. However, the excitement was tempered by the knowledge that we were walking a fine line between discovery and disaster. The tomb was unstable, and any wrong move could bring everything crashing down around us. Yet the allure of what we might find was too strong to resist. We knew the challenges that lay ahead, but we also knew that we couldn't turn back now. The secrets of the past were within our reach, and we were determined to bring them to light, no matter the risks involved. Every find brings us closer to unlocking ancient secrets. King Nastassen's hidden realm. What we found next would change everything, but whether for better or worse, we couldn't yet say. The only certainty was that our journey had just taken a significant turn, and there was no going back. "Oh, look at this mess. It's all tangled up," he said, his voice filled with excitement. By 10:09, the excitement in the air was clear. "This is amazing." As they looked into the submerged resting place of King Nastassen, something striking came into view. A broken sarcophagus lid that hinted at what might be the first ever sighting of a Kush king's remains in his own tomb. And as they sifted through the findings back at the dig tent, something shiny caught their eyes, a glimpse of gold among the artifacts. For those used to these kinds of discoveries, finding gold might not be surprising, but the thought that entering this ancient tomb could reveal gold, sparkling just as it did thousands of years ago, was still thrilling. This thin gold foil might have originally covered everything in these chambers, from pottery offerings to the massive stone slab in the middle of the tomb. The entire room could have been a glittering display of wealth, now to be carefully collected one tiny piece at a time. As he handled these relics with the utmost care, he couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder as he passed a piece over. "Look what we found." The feeling of holding something so deeply historic was overwhelming. "This is incredible," he whispered, and his colleague Tracy, just as captivated, nodded in agreement. "Yes, this is exactly why I do this," she said, holding a piece of pottery over 2,000 years old, possibly once filled with offerings for King Nastassen's journey in the afterlife. "Imagine this has been in complete darkness for thousands of years. It's absolutely beautiful. But there's more," he continued, uncovering another stone fragment, this one looking like Portland stone, perhaps with patterns etched into it. "This is truly something special," he said, his excitement clear as he prepared to bring the carved stone into the light. "I'm bringing it up now," he declared, eager to explore more of the ancient treasures hidden below. But this was just the beginning. What they might uncover next could be even more astonishing. We must determine the origin of this sandstone statue, which appears to be 1,000 years old and of significant historical importance. Nearby, a piece resembling the Naga serpent indicates a connection to ancient guardians. Fragments found in water nearby suggest a larger exploration area for the team. Meanwhile, ongoing excavation is revealing ancient inscriptions, which require cleaning to become legible. A mosaic enduring 14 centuries emerges in stunning clarity after careful cleaning, revealing an almost complete text that has surprised scholars by referring explicitly to St. Peter, a principal figure among the apostles. This discovery, potentially linked to a Byzantine basilica built where Peter, Andrew, and Philip were believed to live, offers rare and strong evidence of significant biblical events in the Holy Land.